Hi ladies and gentlemen, this is Koon. I will do a very honest review about Dragalia Lost today. I have been waiting for this moment for more than 1 month because I want to make sure I understand this game before I speak. I don't want to be superficial like other YouTubers because I respect my subscribers. You know, you and I, we have such a good relationship, so we'll not just look at its physical appearance like graphic, music, gameplay today, but we'll also look at its game mechanism, story and uniqueness. Is it free to play, friendly, and whether this game is suitable for you. If you're used to play JRPG, Japanese role-playing game, you won't feel surprised when you're holding Dragalia Lost in your hand because everything in this game looks so familiar. Just like most TCG titles, it makes use of the AP and BP system for battles and explorations, but we call it stamina and gather wings in this game. Thanks to the Legend and Dragalia Lost, you will automatically become a prince who is ignorant about the dark side of the world and the Harlem around you. The whole setup and concept to me are very yesteryear, or you may also call it classical or vintage. There are 5 types of stories in this game: main story, dragon story, character story, castle story, and event story. The main story of this game is now at chapter 6 and its plots are somehow predictable. I personally think that the dragon stories are fine, they're like fables. However, the character stories are dull and boring and some of them don't even make any sense. For example, there is a girl called Maribel in this game. She came to you because the construction of a castle was disturbing the animals in the forest. You apologized to her and bribed her with cookies. Because of these cookies, she decided to convince these animals to trust you. Maribel became your good friend in the end. Together with her, you cut down more trees, more forests, expanded your land and built an even bigger castle. Where's the logic? This is only one of the many cases. Furthermore, when the best girl is actually your sister, what else can you do? And so for uniqueness and stories, I would only give Dragalia Lost 2 points. Although the stories are disappointing, the events and co-op battles in Dragalia Lost are very engaging and fun to play with. You can actually go co-op and ask for help if you find it difficult to finish the quest alone. The boss fights and challenges in the game are also very satisfying. You would certainly ask for more. The only complaint is the technical issues you might come across when you want to join or host some co-op battles. You need everyone to get ready before battle, and the waiting could be annoying when someone forgot to click the ready button. And there is no way for you to kick anyone out of the room even though you are the host. Not to mention a variety of error messages when you're trying to search or join a room, especially for those who are using Wi-Fi to play at home. For solo play, the AI is not really up to mark at the moment. Sometimes when you're fighting for your life, your other characters just stand still, run back and forth or go suicide. They don't really fight for you. And not just me, but I think a lot of players feel that the interface of beta screen is also a little bit awkward. Hopefully they will do something about this in future. About the music of this game, you can trust the alcohol. Every track, even the background musics in Dragalia Lost, are super catchy and irresistible. You just can't help but to move your body with the rhythm. I would gladly give 4 points to this part. Dragalia Lost is a combination of 2D and 3D graphics. Everything here is vibrant, colorful and delightful. It gives people a very good first impression. However, if you try to compare its drawing style and aesthetics with other mobile games like Granblue Fantasy, or Myoji, Azuland, Monster Strike or FGO, I would say it appears to be average when it comes to character design. Female characters are generally good. You can even find some really nice wife materials in the game, but I feel really sorry for some male characters, especially those with the lowest reality. But surprisingly, the drawings of One Prince are outstanding. I just don't understand why there is a big gap in terms of aesthetics between character and One Prince designs. I will give this section 3 points. Dragalia Lost is a very typical TCG with a layer of JRPG sugarcoat. As you can always expect, grinding is part of this game. In order to get stronger and more powerful, you need to go through the tradition of repetitive quests over and over again. This is a common practice nowadays. Although I don't really like it, I don't have much to complain. However, the real problems lie within the game mechanism. No matter how strong or how weak you are, there is no way for you to compare with other players except for using might. a total figure of your overall strength as a benchmark to compare. Might allows you to unlock certain contents and it helps you to gauge whether you're fit enough for certain quests, but it doesn't really help to reflect a player's true strength, their ability to survive, or their skill. You can even use summons and characters from other elements to easily boost or bluff this benchmark, but you wouldn't be able to contribute much or survive through the battle. Besides, without an MVP system to motivate players, the battles in this game tend to be less rewarding for those who contribute more than other players. You will get the treasures if you fight. You will still get the treasures even if you stand there and watch. And your performance has nothing to do with the might, which is the indicator of your power in this game. That's why the whole gameplay mechanism is flawed. If they don't improve, Leeching will sooner or later infest this game. I can only give Dragalia Lost 1 point for its gameplay mechanism. Although microtransaction is one of the main features in Dragalia Lost, it is still very free-to-play friendly. I think Nintendo and Cygames did a great job in striking a balance between free-to-play and pay-to-win players. First, if you are diligent enough to grind and you have a lot of time to play, you win. Second, if you are generous enough to spend, you also win. If you are a casual player even though you're very skillful or talented, I'm sorry my brother, Rome was not built in a day. You still have to fulfill the first 2 criteria and improve your teams over time before you can flex your muscle. Because everything is based on your characters and equipments, and there is no shortcut for this game. No matter you're a free player or cash player, you can be rest assured that this game is pretty fair to everyone. And so I would gladly give Dragalia Lost 4 points for its relatively considerate microtransaction. Based on all the aspects we have gone through, Koon's rating for Dragalia Lost is only 2.8 on average, which is a lot lower than the ratings on Google Play, App Store and QOL. But again, Dragalia Lost is only 1 month old. There is still a very long road ahead for us to see how far can this game go. Nintendo and Cygames have been showing us their very responsive and generous way of management since the launch of this game. So far, within only 1 month, we have already received a lot of gifts, rewards, and compensations. Although I'm not satisfied with the game mechanisms, I'm really happy they pay attention to players' complaints and they respond really quickly. I believe it is not easy for Dragalia Lost to climb onto the leaderboard in the vast rich sea of mobile games without a solid and unique proposition, but the ways of their management and operation have already won the entry ticket to a successful mobile game. Last but not least, thank you for watching this review. Please remember to leave a comment to share us your thoughts about Dragalia Lost. How do you feel about this game? Do you think the gacha rate is reasonable? Good things, bad things? I'm sure other players would like to hear and learn from you too. Stay tuned and subscribe to my channel for more game reviews. This is Koon. I will introduce and talk about other games very soon. Ciao.